All right, let's go through some of these examples. So these are product of powers is the first rule we're going to look at here. And it just states when a times a to the m times a to the n is just a to the m plus n. So when we are multiplying like bases, we add the exponents. Let's sort of see why this works. Ideally, you won't have to memorize these rules. They'll just sort of make sense. And it's sort of a nice little shortcut to use. So let's do that on this example here, x cubed times x to the fifth. So rather than applying the rule, let's just think about, what does x cubed mean? Well, it means I'm going to multiply x by itself 3 times. I basically have 3 copies of x. Now, what about x to the fifth? Let me use a different color here. It's going to be 5 copies of that x. So we have x times x times x times x times x. So the question is, and again, all these are multiplied, put a dot there for emphasis. And so how many x's do I have being multiplied? Well, I have 8 of them, right? I've got 3 here, 5 here. I'll get x to the 8th. And so hopefully now you sort of see why adding these works, because this just tells me how many copies of x I have. I got 3 copies of x. This one says I've got 5 copies of x. Put them all together, I just add those together. So that's why that property works, and you normally would not want to do something like that. Normally you go straight to this property where we add the exponents. Let's look at this on the next example, 2y squared times y to the 6th. So we have a coefficient here of 2. I'm just going to say 2 times y, or 2y, and then I have my like bases, so I can add the exponents and add them together. What about example 413? 4a to the 4th times a squared. Really no difference here, just the parentheses sometimes throw students off. We really didn't even need them on something like this. They do sort of show up sometimes in problems when they get a little more complicated, maybe multivariable terms. So we're going to have 4a to the 4 times a squared, so it's going to be 4a, and then they're like bases, so I can go ahead and add those exponents together, and I'll get a to the 6th. So the bases must be the same before we can use that property. So if that had been a b squared, I wouldn't be able to do anything. It's just be 4a to the 4th b squared. Similar here, 4 cubed times 6 to the 20th. I can't combine those in the normal way like this, right? I cannot use this property.